What's up, chubs? We're over here. Just finished up the first week of playoffs. Setup's a little different right now. I had to switch machines. It's only Nick right now. Nick is out, so it's just the commission I. So it's going to be an interesting one. Hopefully everyone kind of sticks around and has some fun with us. But, like I said, week 1 of playoffs just finished up. The main championship had their first weeks with a couple interesting arrangements, then a couple interesting turnouts, and then our toilet bowl was, I would almost argue, maybe more interesting, but maybe just because we were in it.
Well, yeah, you and I are the two participants in the toilet bowl, so I would say
participants in the toilet bowl.
We have a vested interest in the outcome of that one for
exactly.
sure.
We'll get into the results of that in a little bit, but most interesting that I wanted to look into, jumping into our playoff bracket. So, Andy Scott, 1 and 2, they were on bye week. Now, we all knew that was happening. No surprise there. But let's jump into the actual bracket over here. So we had...
Side note on that, I tried to tally up some of the points between the two teams. Mm-hmm. I thought Andy's team did okay. Scott's team fucking went crazy. He would have been fine.
Yeah, no, Scott would have been just fine.
Scott's trouble is always this upcoming week. This is the one where he struggles the most, and then he goes crazy the last week of the season. So
yeah. So here's the other Achilles heel of Scotty. The first one being
besides
Justin.
me.
The first one being Justin.
The commissioner curse. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Commissioner curse of Justin, who he is over in the last 3. Is it 3 or 4 now?
It's 3. I think I beat him.
I think it's 3.
It's at least the last 3. Let's just go with the last 3. I'm sure he can correct it because he follows it like it's his life.
Yeah.
So he can probably tell me. But most certainly, during my most active losing streak ever, I beat him. I lost a bunch of games in between. I beat him again. Lost a bunch of games in between. Beat him a 3rd time. So...
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah.
But... Since he was on bye, he was able to avoid any issues, but apparently he did really well, even though he had no one to go against. But he will be playing Joe, who beat out Blake. So Blake, our last year's champion, is not going to be going any further. I think they still do a 3rd place, right?
I mean, he'll go for 3rd place, but that's whatever. I guess the only winnings you'll get out of 3rd place is that you'll get your entry fee back. That's it.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of money in our league. Not a lot, nothing to
report taxes on. Don't worry, we're good. We're well under the limit.
We're well under the taxable limit, so but Blake more or less playing for his money back.
Pretty much, and pride.
Oh well, I guess technically not, because isn't it the losers of this next round that play for 3rd, 4th?
No. Well, actually, no. You're right. Because this is the first elimination. The semifinals are this week.
Yeah. So they'll be playing for 5th.
Right. So.
Oh, hello. It's gonna be it's Blake and Nick. Unfortunately, will be playing for 5th place this upcoming week.
This is a wasted season, and I got nothing good out of it.
Yeah, we can see. You can join us here.
I'm still working on stuff, but I figured I could at least contribute in audio.
Totally fine, man. Fine.
That's totally fine. You are totally fine. Happy you could join us, especially with Nick he's been, I guess, sick for the past week. So
yeah. To our listeners, that is the voice of Blake, our former champion.
Yep, that's me.
And will not be a repeat champion.
Nope.
We were actually just talking about you when you jumped in, so that's great.
Dude, I can't believe Derrick Henry had his worst of the year.
Well, also your quarterback let you down because whatever.
Well,
because of reasons.
Well, on top of that, the thing that's most maddening about this for me is I had vacillated between elevating both picks or going with Kyler Murray pretty much every day leading up to the weekend, and I decided on Kyler Murray. It's overall that matchup was better. He had more upside. He's got more weapons, and should have gone with Bo Nix. It's just annoying.
I mean, Bo Nix kind of had a down day in terms of like regular old Bo Nix performances. However, obviously he would have been the better option to go with.
Yeah, because he would have tripled Kyler Murray.
I mean, that's the thing. Like with the Cardinals, dude, if they play a team that they can get up early on, they will abandon the pass completely.
Yep. Well, and that's where who had James Conner? Who has James Conner?
I think Nick has James Conner. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's Nick. That's where Nick was happy because James Conner had, 30-some-odd point game?
Did he? I didn't even know. I mean, good for him, I guess. It didn't help him.
Didn't help him. Unfortunately, it did not help him.
Yeah, because...
And I was just looking at some points here, Blake, for you. Even if you did make that switch, you would have needed a little bit more help from Derrick Henry.
Yeah, it was just a no...
For sure.
It was a no-win scenario for me. Like, there was nothing I could do. And then on top of that...
That helps you process it, like, so much easier, though.
Not really, because I was playing whiny-ass bitch boy Jones.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned this, because I wanted to bring this up.
I'm going on a tirade right now. Because I cannot fucking stand that every week, for the past 5 weeks, he has gone into the chat and started complaining way too early about he's going to get screwed, and he's going to get this happen, and this happen. Yeah, it ended up happening, but you're doing it halfway through the games. And not to mention, this week, you decide to say, good game, when we're not even at halftime in the first slate of games. Like, seriously, go fuck yourself. I can't believe that you're going to be such a whiny little baby that you're going to go on and continue to just be like, oh, woe is me, when they haven't even gotten to halftime in the first slate of games. What the fuck? And then you go on and say, oh, it's just the reverse jinx, bitch. It didn't work for you the previous 3 weeks you did it. Why are you still doing it?
You know what? I got nothing else to add. I sums it up.
I can't necessarily say anything because I did the same bullshit to Scotty. Like when I played him the second time, I was like, "Good win, dude. Good win on this week." Before the games even started.
That's before the games even started. So that's intentionally a joke, intentionally for comedic value. You just assume your team
definitely for comedic value for sure.
And on top of that, you didn't do it several weeks in a row. Like, nobody wants to hear that shit. That's not fun for anybody. That's just you making you feel better. Because nobody wanted to hear it.
No,
to give listeners context, we get a text at 11:52. I have the chat up right here. 11:52 on Sunday, so not even halftime of the first games.
Well, they barely started.
No, there was still 5 minutes left in the second quarter in the Cowboys game. That's what
I think it was just because Scotty had like a touchdown at that point.
He had a touchdown and like 90 yards at that point.
Damn.
And it was already good win, Blake. Oh, and then Kyle already given up. Oh man.
Yeah, and then I actually said, I'm like, dude, you're not even at halftime. There's a lot of football left. Like, stop.
What a defeatist doucher.
That's what made losing to him all that much more annoying.
Yeah, it sure sucks, but I mean, you can rest assured that he has no chance in the playoffs. So.
Well, like, honestly, you beat me, so I hope you win the whole fucking thing. So.
I mean, of the people that are left, Kyle's kind of the one I want to win the more of anybody.
That would be great. I am so for that. Like if Kyle just like squeaks it out, he beats out Andy. That would be good because he'll have Gibbs, who's gonna be the majority run with Montgomery going down for season.
I was just gonna say there's no bigger benefit to Montgomery going down than Jahmyr Gibbs and Kyle.
Yeah, no shit. Instead of both those guys getting like, I don't know,
split
like 18 to 20 points each, he can have like 36 on his own.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, and that'll help because he has Josh Jacobs, which is a very big bright spot for Green Bay.
Huge.
Jaden Daniels still playing well, probably offensive rookie of the year.
No doubt.
Debo just needs to not shit the bed.
Well,
Debo's been shitting the bed for fucking weeks, dude.
Debo hasn't done anything since he got paid.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. The best receiver on the fucking team is Juwan Jennings.
Yeah.
Pearsall's shown some
Big
flashes, but he's
Or
not
I would say
consistent.
Juwan or Kittle.
Well, Kittle's just all around great tight end.
Yeah, Kittle's a different story. He's not a wide receiver, so
Yeah. I think they still have Kittle. I'll have to double check, but I think Kittle is still number 1, is tight end 1 right now.
He
It might be Bowers now, but
Dude, Bowers is fucking.
Bowers is
It hurts.
crazy. Bowers is crazy. Kittle's so good. The part that still baffles me about my team. Sorry to keep going back to this. Just
Yeah, totally fine, dude. Totally fine.
I cannot believe, like I said, I cannot believe that Derrick Henry performed so bad. They were playing the Giants. You would think that would be a super run-heavy script, and that he would just run all over them. And the dude gets you 5 points. I don't get it. And then on top of that, you've got had Brian Robinson playing. He was playing New Orleans, who's not good against the run, but they happen to play well against the Commanders out of nowhere. So it was just a baffling, just bad week for me, and I don't know how to explain it. Guys that I thought were going to do great, and by all means should have done great, just were middling. And then it didn't help that my best defensive player, right before his game is supposed to start, announces that he's done for the season, and he didn't even have an injury designation before it.
Who's your best defensive player?
Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
So
Oh, you got dicked by him, too.
Yeah.
I was like, why is Max Crosby now available?
So I had to drop him. I had no other choice. There was nobody else on my bench that I could drop because they had all played. Because this is the Monday night game, and they announce it right before the game on Monday night. And so I have to pick up Judon because he's pretty much the only person that I can play, and I need the points from the 2 defensive guys that I had left to play to even try to be able to win. Because I was ahead at 15 before the Monday night game started, and so I had to do something. And who knows if Max Crosby will still be there for me to pick up after this week, but it sucked that I had to drop him.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to pick him up. I can promise you that. But, I mean, I'm also going to avoid making any transactions throughout the rest of the year just so I could, not fuck around with people's rosters, of people that are actually still in it.
Yeah.
Well, and then this is the other worst part of the weekend.
There's 3 worst parts.
Well, there's several of them. Is that
I believe you.
Going into this week, the guy that I have his first round pick was ranked last in the league. By all means, should have lost his first game. And both you fucks ended up losing.
Hey.
Yeah.
My team's been bad all year. I mean, except for the last 4
I was
weeks.
going to say, you're right.
Don't you start talking shit. You've been peeking at the right time.
I was very confident. I thought I'm 20-point favorite over Matt, and then my team did what it does, and then Matt actually scored points against me. So
Yeah, and so
what can I do?
any hopes that I had of getting Ashton Gansey just went out the window.
Yeah, now the fight's between me and fucking Ryan.
Yeah.
And so I'll have either the 3rd or the 4th pick in the first round, which, by all means, still pretty good, but there's nobody that I really definitely want. I mean,
dude, if I get the second overall pick, I'm still taking a running back. I don't care who the hell's out there.
Yeah. Between myself and Justin, it's probably going to be Genty and Scatabo.
Yeah, and I know who I don't want. I don't want
That'd be
Travis
interesting.
Hunter. I don't want Shamir Sanders, so the whole thing.
I'll take Travis Hunter, but not in the first round. Only if Travis Hunter actually gets dual classification as corner and wide receiver, because he'll play some offensive snaps, and that's going to be valuable for a DB. But outside of that, no thanks.
From what I'm reading, everybody's wanting him to just be a DB, but he might get dual designation. I don't know.
I mean, he'll probably get snaps, but that's probably the most of it.
But I'm not sure he'll get that designation. So
yeah.
You're kind of
probably not
running a crapshoot on whether or not you're going to waste a first-round pick on Travis Hunter with the hopes that he's going to end up playing wide receiver, and you can actually use that to your advantage. So,
I mean, if he gets wide receiver snaps, then I'm just going to compare him to Marvin Harrison Jr. and see if he fucking scores him his rookie season. So,
yeah. Well, I mean,
that
one thing
douchebag.
that I wish we were able to draft offensive linemen, because I would kill you fuckers.
Yeah, maybe the first year, but then we'd figure it out, dude.
No,
I would have taken Joe Alt, no problem.
no. See, I'm not going to get into that because that actually doesn't matter. It's not something I would do, so never mind.
I mean, if we were to do that shit, I would start buying Madden again, and then I'd learn every goddamn player in the league, and I would easily fucking start cleaning up on linemen.
Like, my big pick this year was that Cooper Beebe, the guy that the Cowboys drafted and ended up playing center for him, starting for him, has actually been really good. And I'm like, yeah, I called that like right after we drafted him. That kid's good.
That's good. It's good. It's good for your team.
My only
you need
miss in my career is picking offensive linemen, which is literally just me and Waylon talking about it. My only miss is Lane Johnson, and I'll never live that down.
No.
Because you said he'd be bad?
Oh, I said he would be awful, and I was very wrong. I was very wrong.
Yeah,
that man is very
doesn't
good.
look good.
He's just been part of some of the best offensive lines we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's unfortunate. But, I mean, yeah, that loss, that's a tough loss. But, I mean, can you say that, that loss is obviously frustrating, and for all the reasons that you said, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But if you had, for instance, you had a player the caliber of, Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And he got targeted 3 times, didn't catch a goddamn pass, and he got you a big old goose egg. And you also started Tua Tagovailoa, who got less than 2 points for Nick Stumper, who's unfortunately not here to defend himself, but that will be very funny when he gets back on.
Yeah, that's rough.
He got dicked so hard in those 2 departments.
Yeah, he did.
Specifically the Baker one. Because let's just see if he just happened to play, Baker Mayfield. That would have been an extra 30 points, and he would have
And
won.
Malik Neighbors, who said he was benching. Because Malik Neighbors got 20 points, and fucking Mayfield had 32.
Yeah.
I mean, you for being
say,
spiteful, you dumbass.
Well, because let's think about it though. You have Malik Neighbors, but you also have a Cooper Kupp, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. Of those 3 that you started in Cooper Kupp, Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and we can also put DJ Moore in there too.
No, he loves DJ Moore. He would never.
Who
take
would
him
you
out.
bench of those 4? Because he had his 3 starters and his flex. DJ Moore is his flex. Of those 4, who would you bench to put in Malik Neighbors?
I mean, I have a different
Obviously,
opinion.
are not going to sit Cooper Kupp because hindsight being 2020. I mean, obviously, if you just happen to play him instead of if you just happen to play Malik
Honestly,
Neighbors
I
over
would
Cooper
have
Kupp.
shot Cooper Kupp. He's been so wildly inconsistent this year. At least when Malik Neighbors is on the field, you know he's getting targeted.
True. Cup has been pretty up and down. But he did come off a week where he scored 15 points. But to get 0, that's not okay for anybody.
No. I mean, I probably would have sat DJ Moore just because that offense has been so inconsistent. So I would have sat DJ Moore and played Malik Neighbors over that. But that's just me.
Yeah. I mean,
DJ Moore
I might
is a
have-
good option, but I'm just saying.
I might have said Jerry Jeudy because I saw that Cleveland was going up against KC. But Jerry Jeudy was his best fucking receiver, so
Yeah,
what do I know?
I would have played Jerry Jeudy just because he has been consistently doing well. He's connecting with Jameis Winston a lot.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Even against KC, I probably still would have played him because their because really their defense isn't great.
no, and Jameis does like to throw the prayer ball every goddamn time, so. And God bless him for it, because that's amazing for fantasy.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it's great. That's what made him, what was that? His first year in Tampa Bay, that's what made him a viable quarterback play, because he just poked the ball down the field so often that, yeah, he had 3 interceptions, but he'd also backed it up with 4 touchdowns and damn near 400 yards.
Usually hovering in the 20 interception range and close to 30 touchdowns. And then he had the infamous 30-30 season, which was epic in every scale. And then he got LASIK.
It was great, but terrible.
Now he's praying to be delivered from interceptions. And like, whatever, dude.
I don't know what's happened to him though, but his attitude has completely changed, and I love it. I don't know what it is about Jameis Winston, but he went from the guy that like in New Orleans would hold up his W and be like eating it, and now he's like, I'm just so happy to be here. Like, what a complete switch in just attitude. It's kind of great. I'm all for it.
That guy's got to be great to have on your team at this point with that kind of attitude. He makes you want to have fun playing.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, anybody who was not Deshaun Watson was going to be very much appreciated by that fan base. So,
oh yeah,
they're super happy about that.
I mean, they loved Baker for a long, long time.
They did until Odell Beckham's dad got him kicked off the team.
Yeah.
The whitey ass bitch.
There's a lot of those in the NFL now.
Very much so.
No.
Guys quitting mid-game and all that shit.
Guys quitting mid-game. Funny enough, if you wanted to talk about Campbell at all,
no,
don't have much about that because
really,
every other
doesn't matter.
Not really. I mean, if he's done, he's done. It's just as I was saying to Ryan before we started recording, and this is starting to become like what I think is going to be a growing trend. Starting with it started with Vontae Davis, who retired at halftime of a game that he was playing.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then you move on to Antonio Brown losing his absolute shit.
Well, and you had
you
had Connor Williams that retired mid-season this year.
Oh,
I don't even know who Connor Williams is.
He was the center for the Seahawks. Ryan, you should have known that. You bandwagon bitch fan.
Yeah, that's me, because I don't know all my offensive linemen.
Bitch, I know all the Cowboys' offensive linemen. It's like, go fuck yourself.
It's fine. You're overly invested.
You're also a lineman.
Very true.
So.
It's a valid point, and I'm sorry for attacking you personally.
It's
totally
okay.
fine.
It's okay. I accept it. I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm allowed.
I don't know all the Cardinals linemen. That's fine. I used to. I don't anymore. That's my fault.
Honestly, nor should you, because their offensive line is a revolving door.
It's pretty bad. Even though their center has a Viking name.
Not that it's a bad offensive line. You guys are constantly changing out pieces.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of solid pieces to have. The fucking right tackle that they signed in the offseason to be the answer at right tackle just barely started playing. And he recovered a fumble for a touchdown this week, I guess. Or he caught a fumble or whatever the hell happened.
He was fumbling in the end zone and he recovered it before it got to the end line. So he saved you guys from a touchback and got a touchdown.
Yeah, good for him. That's cool. Appreciate it. Helps us beat terrible New Orleans team or New England team. Yeah, whatever. No big deal.
But with more players also, we're looking at what used to be Super Bowl favorites are now maybe... I mean, I would like to see them in the NFC Championship and go on to the Super Bowl, but I don't know how the Lions are going to look. We talked a little bit about it a little bit earlier, but David Montgomery going down for the rest of the season.
Yep.
And, like, the entire season. They're not saying he's going to try to come back for playoffs. He is done. So that hurts them from an NFL standpoint, fantasy standpoint. Kyle's pretty damn happy. Not that we would ever praise or celebrate an injury, but Kyle's pretty happy because that means Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get the ball 100% instead of
but also
60%.
theoretically that's going to reduce their scoring percentage because that man was a goal line hound.
Mm-hmm.
That guy always found the end zone. He was as close to a touchdown poacher as you got now. Him and Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah, I was going to say he was the DeAndre Swift of last year who just punched in goal line.
Yep.
Goal line stuff when it wasn't a push for Jalen Hurts.
Yep.
Damn.
But yeah,
so, let's
Montgomery
see.
went down. There was a couple other pieces that went down for the Lions that were hefty.
I'm going to start from November 9th. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, a linebacker, injured reserve.
Yep.
Derek Barnes, linebacker, injured reserve. Alec Anzalone, linebacker, injured reserve.
Mm-hmm.
He's a little bit more impactful in the IDP community, but
yeah, Anzalone going down.
Ifitu Melonafu, whatever his last name is, he's a safety. injured reserve. Ennis Rakeshaw Jr., the rookie quarterback, injured reserve. Khalif Raymond, doesn't really matter. Malcolm Rodriguez, linebacker, injured reserve. Mickey Wingo, defensive tackle. They're hoping to get Aiden Hutchinson back by the NFC Championship game if they make it.
Well, yeah, he said he's in the Super Bowl.
I mean, for sure in the Super Bowl. Like, there's no way he doesn't play in that game. But David Montgomery now, and then they lost a defensive tackle and 2 more corners in this last game.
They just lost a corner with a broken jaw.
Yeah, their defense is hurting.
It's battered. For sure.
Like,
I don't...
I just did a look of just, like, teams that have been battered by injury. Lions are first in that group, which is remarkable for how well that they've actually played this year. And then you've got...
Well, a lot of their injuries aren't, like, they're not the notable highlight guys that are on their offense, with the exception of Montgomery this week.
Yeah. And then the
I
next
mean,
team
and Aiden Hutchinson earlier this year, I guess that was kind of huge.
The next team I looked up, mostly because I was trying to support an argument, is why I started looking into this. Is how many injuries the fucking Cowboys have. I supported my
Dak
argument pretty
Prescott
well.
is the biggest one, so, I mean, that's pretty
Yeah, I
bad.
was going to say, your argument is going to die pretty quickly because it's really just Dak.
It's not just Dak.
No, it's not.
Well, I guess,
Lost an all-pro guard in Zach Martin.
Yeah.
An all-pro
Yeah.
defensive end in DeMarcus Lawrence.
See what you did?
well, and then also the corner, what was the corner's name? Is it Bland?
Well, Bland's back now, but Travion Diggs
back.
just went out for 8 weeks. The most
Well, nobody's going to get... He's not going to get burned now, so I guess that's good.
Then, like, we had the linebacker, Timavarian Overshown, that was showing a whole lot of promise, and, like, people were starting to take note of him. And then he tears everything in his knee.
Jesus, that sucks.
Yeah.
And then Cooper Beebe's been out for 2 weeks with a concussion, our center. Guyton's been out for the last 3 weeks with a knee injury. That's the first-round left tackle that we just got. Like I said earlier, Zach Martin's out, and that's a pretty big hit. All despite that,
Yeah.
the running game decided to take off out of nowhere. So, I mean,
So when are you going to buy a Rico Dowdle jersey?
never.
I don't think so.
No.
I still think he sucks.
We've been playing shit teams. Or shit defenses.
No. I agree. I agree. If nothing else, I hope you guys get a running back next year.
Me too.
I gotta ask because we haven't talked since after this game happened, but that Commanders Cowboys game,
You mean the
the
Bengals
most
Cowboys
exciting
game?
last 2 minutes of a game I've seen in a long
You
time.
mean the Bengals Cowboys game?
No, the Commanders won.
Which one was that? Did they
Scary
play?
Terry with a 70-yarder.
Oh, that bullshit.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he said the corners are missing, and Scary Terry is a good receiver.
I mean, still won the game, so whatever. And then the soul-crushing blow of the Bengals game happened, so
Yeah.
fuck everything.
Nobody likes listening to the Bengals. Fuck those guys. And I've grown to hate the Bengals because of the players that Andy has on his team.
Oh, yeah. That does not help that Andy has both Burrow and Jamar Chase.
Chase. Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So,
That is actually because I don't know what it was. I think it was a press conference that Joe Burrow was in this last week, but he did not seem very happy. Obviously, because you're not having the team isn't performing well, so you're not very happy just in general. But he almost had an attitude of like, I don't want to be here.
He wants to be there. He's fine.
Do we see maybe a Joe Burrow going somewhere else?
no.
Nope.
Hell no.
Not a chance. You'd never let somebody like that go.
No.
That's fair.
That would be like asking if you think Josh Allen's going to go somewhere else other than the Bills. That guy's got
That's fair.
very minimal around him, and he's still there. So,
Yeah.
no, I don't. You're not going to leave arguably the best wide receiver in the game to go somewhere else where you don't have that.
Plus, they're old teammates from college. Like, there's no reason. There's no better situation for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really isn't. But so that kind of, we eventually are coming back to the to our fantasy playoffs here. So this upcoming week, it's going to be Kyle and Andy.
Interesting.
Which will be pretty interesting. And then we have Scott.
For Kyle.
This is, I mean, love Kyle to death. He was how I kind of got to know all of you because he introduced me to the team. So love him dearly. Kyle, if you listen to this, you're my guy.
But
I don't know what your chances are like.
Who are the Bengals playing this week?
I think this is the toughest matchup of the next 2 weeks because I do believe that the Bengals are playing the Panthers next week, and that's not going to be good for anything.
Yeah.
Let me check real quick.
'Cause I don't want to pull up on my computer because it might crash.
I'm doing laundry, so otherwise I would be looking at it. But
I got you, fuckers. They're playing the Browns. They're playing the Browns this week.
Well, fuck.
Not great.
No.
That's potentially that's shootout territory. That
Yeah,
sucks.
I really hope that Myles Garrett just lives in Joe Burrow's rectum.
Which is possible.
It is possible.
Bless you. And I was wrong about the matchup. Like, they're playing the Browns this week, but if Andy advances beyond this week, they play the Broncos next week.
Well, that's actually a decent thing because then Patrick Surtain can shut down Jamar Chase.
That is 100% what I was thinking. That was the only saving grace, but that also would mean that Andy made it to the fucking title game.
You know what? Fine, as long as he doesn't win it. I mean, never.
I get it.
I love that there's almost like a consensus that as long as Andy doesn't win.
Well, and this is the only problem. We have no, I legitimately, especially since we're not roommates anymore, I like him a whole lot more. There's no denying that when we were roommates, we both got annoyed with each other. But the only reason that nobody really wants him to win is just because, one, he seems to pretty much always be good.
Uh-oh. I think it cut out.
Yeah, he might have cut out.
Oh,
he
just muted. Oh, now he's come back?
No.
Not sure.
No. Looks like he got disconnected. Anywho, I can give you a reason. It's because he's a C word to watch football with. He is such a pretentious... God, he sucks.
Oh, welcome back.
I'm sorry, I cut out. There I go again.
It happens. Don't worry. Yeah, but that is that is the reason why I don't want him to win, and it's the reason why I will never trade with him because he is a C word.
Although, unless you get Alvin Kamara,
you can trade with him all day. I don't care. I'm not going to do it.
That's fine. I'll gladly give him DeAndre Hopkins for Alvin Kamara. But on the other side, it's Joe and Scotty.
That'll be a close one, I think, because Scotty and Joe will both occasionally put up a lot of big points. So.
Yeah, Scott's gonna rely a lot on Saquon. Who do the Eagles play?
Well, I mean, he's not only gonna rely on that, but also he's having Lamar fresh off a 5-touchdown game.
Yeah,
so he's got his hopes set super fucking high right now.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't repeat that thing, he's going to lose his mind.
Oh, I know. I almost don't want to, if he goes to Zips, I almost don't want to go.
Oh, I totally do. Oh, absolutely.
You know what? I'm going to talk to the wife and I'll see if I can, because I kind of don't, but I also do.
I mean, I haven't been in 4 or 5 weeks, so
I was going to say, you haven't been in a while.
I need to see that.
I haven't been at all this year.
You need to see.
No, I know. But I mean, you live in a different, state, so that makes sense.
I mean, it kind of feels like it.
I was gonna say you might as well be.
You're still connected to us. Don't worry.
You just say at least I try to contribute here.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't turn off your notifications, you're good.
Yeah, I won't do that again.
It's a long off season, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah. So the Eagles. So the Eagles play the Commanders. It's a divisional game.
That should be
So
interesting.
that will be interesting.
Dan Quinn usually does pretty well against the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Eagles are playing really good football right now, though.
Yeah.
Fuck the Eagles.
I know, I hate them too. But if they play him, like if they turn it into a shootout, that's a Jalen Hurts game. That's not a Saquon game.
That's not a Saquon game. That's a Hurts game.
Even
That's
though I would
AJ
only
Brown.
give Saquon the fucking ball because he's incredible with it. And Nick Sirianni tends to forget that sometimes, so we'll see.
Because Nick Sirianni's a doucher.
He is. I think he's a terrible coach, but whatever. What can I
But
do?
since he's winning games, he's going to keep the job because he's winning games.
He's like the winningest coach active right now, and it fucking sucks.
It's pretty terrible. But going down into our toilet bowl. Sorry, Blake, we kind of hurt your higher draft picks this year.
Oh, Ravens are playing the Steelers. That's not great.
Ooh.
The Steelers' defense has still been pretty good. I mean, they are potentially going to miss T.J. Watt, so...
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the Steelers' defense is going to be tough for Lamar.
Yeah.
That's some tough titties.
That's rough.
Yeah. If there's one thing the Steelers have always consistently been good at, it's defense.
Yeah.
But
if you want to talk about toilet bowl matchup,
toilet bowl.
I got Josh Allen. What else? What do you got?
Nothing.
You got nothing?
Both of you.
I really
You're not going
don't.
to tank it, goddammit.
I hate
You
you.
just put your
will
best team
not
out there.
tank it. I literally just made subs to actually put in a decent team. I'm not
hate
tanking
you
it.
both.
I predicted I was not going to get the 1.1, dude, and I don't want my fucking name on that stupid trophy again.
No, you don't get the trophy. The person that gets put on the trophy isn't it the winner of the toilet bowl?
It's last
No,
place.
it's a loser.
Oh, it's last place.
Loser of the
Last
toilet
place
bowl.
goes on the toilet because they're the worst fucking team.
Okay. That,
Plus, whatever we're going to start deciding for the last place punishment.
yeah, which we'll
Which
get into
will be
that.
enacted on whoever is last place this upcoming week. Or
Yeah.
I mean, I'll even do it for last year, just to like not pretend like I'm picking on anybody. But if I get this number one, I'm not doing it twice. Like fuck
That's
that
fair.
shit.
That's fair. Which we'll get into
Last
that
place,
during your
last
questions.
place has to panhandle at a freeway intersection saying I suck at fantasy football.
I can easily look homeless.
I don't know if I can do that. So here's
I
the hoping.
I have dirty clothes. I can do that shit.
Here's the hoping. But jumping into that, so the official toilet bowl, like, winner of the losers, more or less, is going to be Nikki P and Matt. Which I kind of hope Matt wins because he needs a win. He's had a really tough year.
I hope Nikki P wins. Just
Which you can
because
say the same about Nikki P.
he hasn't had a lot of good luck this year.
I mean, he
Yeah.
beat me once. He didn't beat me the second time. Thank God.
No kidding, right? He beat you once? Damn.
Yeah, he beat
Yeah,
me
we gotta figure out. I gotta
he
figure out
beat
the
me
rivalry.
first
shit,
rivalry
too.
week.
I think the only rivalry week was Matt and Kyle. That was
Nah,
one-sided.
Andy and Joe.
Yeah, Andy and Joe.
Andy swept him.
Andy swept Joe. Yeah.
Oh
So he has
Jesus!
to wear that vest.
Oh yeah, that's right. The totally original idea that came from the internet, probably.
Yeah.
100%. Andy sent the screenshot and it was an internet site.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was on Etsy.
Just
Yeah,
happened to be
this is what I
scrolling through Pinterest.
No, he happened to be scrolling through a fantasy championship trophy website, which no doubt still has last place shit on there too. So, 100% sure he got it through.
That's stupid, but I mean,
But the battle for worst for 9th and 10th is good old Justin and myself, because we couldn't put together, well, I specifically could not put together a good roster. Justin just kind of got a little unlucky against Matt.
my roster wasn't good all year, dude. Like I won the last 4 fucking
I don't want to hear
weeks.
shit. I don't want to hear it,
You
Mr.
really
won
Number
more games than
highest
me.
scoring offense. I don't want to hear it, Mr.
Dude, your
234.
team went off
Kiss
and
my
put up
ass.
240.
248.
248.
Again, 248. Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can say a whole lot. Like, you just got unlucky for the vast majority of the season.
Yeah, I know. Like that's the fucking worst part of it. The main
Ryan,
reason I
your
fucking
team is
lost
just
most
dog
of
shit.
Yes, it is.
My team underperforms. Like, you'll see. You'll see.
Believe me, I get that.
I'm not going to start Marvin Harrison. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm not
If I did,
starting
I know I'm
Darnell
going to get a
Mooney,
goose egg out of his fucking ass. I'm starting my best team against you, and you watch me crumble.
With the like overwhelming consensus that Marvin Harrison Jr. was the number one overall pick in rookie drafts this year. Does that give you any like pause if you do end up with the 101? Does that give you any pause in drafting Ashton Janty?
Not even like for a second. You can put it in fucking stone as soon as if I get that pick.
That wasn't me hoping. It was a legitimate question.
I know.
I do not expect him to get to me, so
he won't.
Seriously,
No chance.
you're going to trade out of it. So I'm not really holding out hope.
Very much doubt it. Yeah, no. Unless he like tears his ACL this year, then I might be a little bit hesitant on it, and somebody else blows up the combine, or the pro day or something to that effect. But unlikely, I think. Because I don't want to run into a Jonathan Brooks situation where he's going to miss his first 2 years because he keeps tearing his ACL.
Yeah.
Poor Scotty. That's what he gets for committing to running backs, though.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Well, at least you committed to something. I haven't committed to
Blake Corum?
I've got a ton of running backs.
I mean, must be nice. I only have 4, I think. 5? I think 5. But they're not good.
You guys hear me?
Roshan Johnson, who should be a starter in Chicago. Achane, the ghost of Travis Etienne.
There we go.
Isaac Arendo, who's going to be off my team as soon as the season's over.
Well, yeah, as well he should be. And yes, I did draft Blake Corum, but I haven't done anything with him.
I mean, neither have the Rams or Chargers or wherever he is.
I'm not sure he'll be on my team next year.
Trust me when I say this shit, hang on to his ass. Look what I did with Tank Bigsby. He fucking blew up the second year.
I mean, I already have a habit of holding on to draft picks too long. That's the only reason I still have Charbonnet, and he's paid off for me this year.
I was going to say, he paid off for
Charbonnet,
you this
this
week.
is the second year. That's what I'm saying. Hang on to Corum.
Literally,
Kyler Williams is a small dude. There's no way he's going to last.
The only reason that I kept Charbonnet is exactly what I used him for this year. The weeks that Kenneth Walker was out, I played him, and he showed up big.
Yeah.
And Kenneth Walker usually misses anywhere from 3 to 6 games a year.
He still has not played the full season. Yeah, he still has yet to play a full season.
So, it's also part of the reason I was okay with trading into Kyle when I did.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got nothing but an injured goddamn running back on his team now.
Yep.
But, yeah, that is some wacky ass shit. So we'll see. We'll see who ends up with this fucking stupid game. I'm gonna start my best players, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I will put my best foot forward still. I don't know how good said best foot forward is.
You beat me once this year, so I mean...
Yeah, and it just happened to be my best week of the entire season.
Dude, I have a habit of doing that.
I cannot wait for both of you to just light up the scoreboard this week.
Yeah.
So that you would have
That'd be awesome.
Dude, it would be so
you and I put
fantastic.
up oh my god.
We lost
if it
195 to 200, man. This is bullshit.
I was gonna say if it was within 5 also, like you put up 200, I did 196 or 197.
No, man, other way around, dude. I want Janty. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know. The draft is so far away. I can't even picture what that is yet.
Well, they still have the college football playoff, which people are saying that could hurt Genty because now he's going to play real teams, even though he went against Oregon, which is the number 1 team in the nation, and he still put up 150 yards or something.
Oregon is not known for their defense.
People only respect the fucking SEC. They don't give a shit about anybody else. Unless you play against the SEC, they consider your competition weak. That's just how it goes. It sucks. But also, if you just look at Genty's stats over this whole year, whatever. You don't need to play another down, dude.
He really doesn't. He really doesn't.
Like, this is exactly what running back should be. I love this.
And so I was talking to Aiden. I don't know if I brought him up here before, but that's my son. And he was so mad about Ashton Jeanty not getting the Heisman. And I'm like, bro, there was no way he was getting it.
I mean,
Travis Hunter has been talked about way too much. He's the only guy that you can say within the past probably decade that's actually played both ways and been good on both sides. That in it of itself makes it so Travis Hunter was going to win this year. There was no second guessing that.
yeah, he's like the first quarterback since what, Desmond Howard?
Yeah, and well,
or no, Desmond Howard's a wide receiver. My mistake. Sorry.
Yeah. The part
Woodson, he's a corner. Fucking
yeah.
That's what I meant.
The part about it that's more frustrating to me is that Hunter still won the Bolitnikoff Award, and there was somebody that had more receptions, more snaps, more yards, more touchdowns, everything than him at wide receiver.
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with Travis Hunter is he wasn't the best at either one.
No, and I get, that was the argument that was posed to me by Aiden. I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand the level that being good at both, not great, but good at both, and doing both consistently, that just shines so well in critics' eyes that you're able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing because I think the receiver, he was out of San Diego State or something like that. His numbers were miles above Travis Hunter. I mean, not even close.
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about, and there wasn't a single stat that Travis Hunter beat him on. He was better than him on every single stat. I think he actually won the Triple Crown.
He might have. And that's why I'm saying, the more maddening one to me is the fact that Travis Hunter won the Bolitnikoff Award, and I don't think he should have.
Yeah, I need to look him up. But that would be a different thing. But
Travis Hunter was number 6 on the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Travis Hunter also had 1,100 yards and 14 touchdowns, and that's nothing to sneeze at. So
no, it's definitely not. It's not. It's not. I'm not saying he's
good.
Not good.
He was good.
And it's not markedly better than a lot of the other guys on the list. So, I mean, to be comparable on that, with a lot of the top dudes, that's totally fine. It's completely justified, to be honest. The fact that, you're just at that level at receiver, okay, that's fine. That's not, Heisman candidacy level, but, I mean, that's fine. However, if you add in his fucking defensive stats, that's just icing on the cake, and that puts you over the top no matter who you're talking about, because you have those extra stats and playing those two different positions and being so good at both positions. That's more than full. That's overflowing. Your cup is overflow with stats. That's just, you can't go against that shit. So,
oh, sorry, and I got the college wrong. It's San Jose State, not San Diego State. San Jose State.
Is that
Nick Nash.
That's what that was? I was the Spartan. Who the fuck?
Yeah, no, Nick Nash from San Jose State. He led the nation in receiving yards per game. I think he was top in touchdowns, receptions. I think every category.
Number 2 is a tight end from Bowling Green.
Interesting. But to make sure we still give ourselves some time to go over some questions.
Yes, please.
Well, also, I wanted to ask, I didn't get through all of the podcasts last week.
Okay.
I listened to most of it. Did you guys see the questions that I posted on Spotify and YouTube last week?
Last week, I believe so. Let me double check on the being in a position last year where last year's champion is not only a chance in the playoffs, but a chance to get the first overall pick.
Yeah, I should have never made that comment. It bit me in the ass real quick.
Yeah, how did we feel? Intensely envious. That's what we said.
Yeah, we all, I think, agreed that we were, a little bit jealous, but also, what the fuck?
Also, fuck you.
Yeah.
That was part of it.
But not anymore, because...
your other question. What was your other question? Your other question? Yeah.
Assign marble people to each team.
We didn't do each team. At least we didn't try. Oh, what I said Andy was Starbrand. Because you don't know who Starbrand is, but like Starbrand he is a superhero in the comics whose superpower is this brand on his hand, and that enables him to like develop the power that makes him just a little bit stronger than whoever he's fighting. So he always wins. And it's the most bullshit fucking thing in comics. It's like, oh, it's my MacGuffin, whatever, I win, bleh. And that's Andy. Andy is that.
It's just enough to where he's like, I'm just better.
Yeah. I don't remember what Ryan said, and I don't remember what Nick said. No, Nick said Spider-Man, because he's friendly. And that's what he said. He's like, I'm a friendly guy. And I said I'm Sebastian Shaw, who is the leader of the Hellfire Club, but his power is getting the shit kicked out of him and taking on damage, but converting it into energy. And that's basically what I said about the whole year. Like, I got the shit kicked out of me, but then the end of the year, I had that hot streak to end it. So that was me exploding and, like, destroying everybody else after that. That's what that was. I don't even know who the fuck else I'd give to anybody. I didn't put any thought into the other teams because I thought it was going to take too much time, because all those other guys are fucking personality-less.
I'm
looking mine up again because I don't remember.
Yeah, I'd have to fucking watch it again, but like I'll put it in the comments. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll put it in the fucking YouTube comments, and I'll evaluate everybody and give them a Marvel character. That's what I'll fucking do. And I'll give Nick something else besides Spider-Man because he's friendly. Fuck you.
I can't find it right now, but I remember. Oh God, I would almost say Madam Web just because it's been so terrible.
Yeah, but not the worst ever.
Yeah, damn close. I don't have the record to show for it just because I'll randomly get a random 6-point win left and right, and I avoid rivalry punishments.
I mean, that's huge.
It's most of what I do.
That's my main win out of this year, and beating Scotty. That was pretty. Those are the two big
Continuing
things.
the curse.
Bring it on.
So, just to make sure we get to our questions here, I'll jump over to Spotify so that way I can avoid my computer crashing.
I have the YouTube questions up if you want me to read them.
I pulled it up on my phone, so I'll be able to do that. So the poll that we had was, I think it was who, based off of the current at that time, who will fight for the first overall pick in 2025, and the one vote was for Nikki P.
Which, honestly, because I think I was the one that voted, and that doesn't make any sense because that would be Blake's pick, and that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah, I didn't want that to happen. I don't know why I said that.
But also, that wasn't a bad guess to give it to Nikki P because, I mean, we really...
He's taken over last.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because right at the end, he was 10th.
He just got a wild hair up his ass and decided to win this week, so...
Yeah.
What can you do?
Well, he was going against me.
That helps.
Which is not hard to beat me. And so I think we did, and just the one, and we had one comment on there, which was just more or less just a guess about who the last game would be, for 101, and it said, I think Justin versus Nikki P. Saying that you would lose and I would beat Nikki P.
Oh.
So,
well, I mean,
50%.
You got halfway there.
That was my hope. I just wanted Nikki P in that last game.
Understood. I mean, you had good
Well,
reason.
there's still a chance, though, to get the third overall.
Well, I'm fucking dancing in the raindrops here, man, trying to get this number one pick, because you two have multiple first-rounders, and I'm just trying to get that one.
Yeah, well, as it looks right now, all my picks are going to be pretty much in the middle of the first round.
That's not bad. You can get a lot of quality players, dude.
Yeah.
Do the shotgun spray. You can fucking hit somebody.
Yeah.
Just based off of current, I think my other one is Scott's first round.
Yeah, for
so
Saquon.
I'll have towards the top and then towards the bottom.
Yeah,
you only have two, right?
Yeah, because Matt got his back.
That's right, because you had one, traded it away, got another one, traded that away.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
got mine, Nikki B's, and I think
Joe's, right?
Yeah, Joe's.
Yeah.
I'm checking.
Yeah, still kind of be that's like right in the middle, but more probably the sandwich between my two.
But if you have Nikki P and Joe, like, well, I guess, yeah, just Nikki P is going to be the highest one, but...
Yeah.
So Nikki P is going to be 3 or 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So jumping over into the YouTube comments, one of them was something we let Blake kind of have his time.
Just wanted to tirade about Joe and his whiny ass.
Yeah, he wanted to call
totally
out.
Fine.
He wanted to call out Joe and his way too early texts that he has been doing for the past 4 weeks, and
Wait,
then
did I put that in there?
Yeah.
yes,
Oh,
he said, "I'm upset.
I need to go on a tirade about Joe and his messaging.
I forgot about that.
You wrote that 4 days ago.
So, which actually is funny because I think that was before Sunday.
It was. I did that before Sunday.
I mean,
So I think that was like Friday or Saturday. I think that was Saturday. So he didn't even post it. He like preemptively knew that Joe was gonna say something.
well, it's because he's been doing it all year. So
Yeah. And then the other part was I called Justin's win streak on the podcast 5 weeks ago.
I remember that.
I mean,
And
I
then
appreciate
we
it.
also brought up, because we put in a question for people to comment on, and it was, what should the last place punishment be for getting last? And he said the last place has to do a punishment of the champion's choosing.
Oh, yeah.
So first place chooses 10th place's punishment.
I just thought that sounded like a decent idea.
Which would be interesting, especially if, like, Justin over here gets 10th and then Andy wins it.
It'd be some milk toast punishment.
Well, there'll be some shit that is just completely off the table and I won't do, so...
Yeah.
You have to shave. Not gonna happen.
That's, no.
I mean, I think it's within reason. Like, both sides have to agree upon it.
Yeah. Like, nothing, like, crazy, like...
Yeah, and whatever it is, I'll videotape it and I'll put it in the chat, so...
Oh, yeah, it will be included. I will actually learn editing a little bit more on this to put it in.
Please do.
And then some other questions. Who was a fantasy MVP and LVP of your team this year? So you're specific to your team's MVP and LVP.
Like who? Like
Mine's easy.
Yeah. Go ahead.
MVP, Derrick Henry. He did great all year, except for
For sure.
the last week. I'm not going to malign him for one bad week, even though it was the most impactful.
No argument here.
He was by far the MVP of my team.
Mm-hmm.
LVP is mostly because he got hurt and wasn't having a good season before it, but Dak Prescott.
Yeah, and like the LVP doesn't necessarily have to be like the lowest scoring player on your roster, just the guy that you feel let you down the most too. And
Well, that's the one
that perfectly fits. That perfectly fits.
Yeah.
Because last year, how I won was literally pretty much relying on the Dak CD stat, and it did not work this year because like he just was not having a great year.
Yeah, they were fucking so on fire last year.
Yeah. God, it was really nice in a different league I was in when I had CD and Tyreek. Holy shit, that was really nice. MVP for me, honestly, was my biggest surprise, and that was Chuba Hubbard.
Shoot, yeah.
Because just out of nowhere, he would give me like 25. I mean, he was consistently giving me almost a touchdown a game. There were some games that he obviously let me down, but he was like my surprise, if anything. If I could give a surprise.
Yeah. For somebody that you might not have expected anything and you got so much from him, like that totally
well, when they
qualifies.
went and got Miles Sanders and Jonathan Brooks.
I mean, Miles Sanders is done. He's washed, and Jonathan Brooks might not play for the first 3 goddamn years of his career.
Well, I started feeling when Jonathan Brooks was starting to come back, because Chuba was still getting the ball, but Jonathan Brooks was coming back, and then he got hurt again. Like,
I mean, at that point, he's probably still your MVP because that was like week 11 when he finally started to come back.
So Chuba is very much my surprise. The one that has let me down the most is CJ Stroud.
Oh, good call. Oof.
Matt.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
ruined.
I changed my team name because he let me down so much. Because I started out the season, in Stroud we trust. I don't trust him.
And then he lost Nico Collins.
And then he lost Nico Collins. He lost Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
I mean,
No.
yeah, he wasn't necessarily cooking for a good chunk of the year either, but
No.
that totally fits for sure. Hoo-wee. Let's see. My MVP, easily Josh Allen. Like, that's not even
That's not
even
a
close.
question. We all knew that one.
Yeah, Josh Allen has been a godsend for quarterback. He's not even like the number one scoring quarterback, and he's still just incredible in every sense of the word. He makes football fun to watch. I love that fucking guy. His nickname is the Future on my team, even though he's like one of the older quarterbacks in the league now.
Which, funny enough, he's only like 28. He's still
That's still older than half the goddamn starters. Like, let's see, LVP. I'm not gonna say Marvin Harrison because
He's just a rookie. It's hard to.
well,
put a rookie in LVP,
he's
but-
having an average rookie season. The fact that he has so many expectations and what like I put on him too, because I'm totally guilty of this. I expected him to have over 1,000 yards and at least 10 touchdowns. That's stupid on my part. I completely blame myself for that. But I'm not alone in the thought that a lot of people thought he was going to do that.
That was outside of the realm of what anybody else was thinking when you drafted him.
Of course not. And like the fact that his nickname on my team is Dropsy McNo-Practice because I don't think he practices hard and he drops the goddamn ball way too much. But with all that said, he's not my LVP. Like, he still put up, I think he has 7 touchdowns in the year, and that's respectable. I mean, that's totally fine. He didn't start much for me, but that's totally cool. My LVP is Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne has done nothing but piss me off all fucking year, along with his head coach, Doug Peterson, who hates his guts because he starts that fucking Tank Bigsby, who can't catch the goddamn ball over him all the time. There's a head coach who should be fired. And Etienne should either take over the fucking number one job again because he can do it, or go to another team because I'm tired of this fucking shit. Because he's not going to succeed in the current format of the Jaguars at all.
Well, I mean, the Jaguars themselves just need to be fixed. But
That might be the most valid LVP I've ever heard.
But that, yeah. Well, I mean, he was very much a very decent fantasy running back last season.
RB fucking 5, dude.
Yeah.
Now he's nowhere near anything. Like, he's just
I don't
terrible.
even think he's in top 32.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to be like a breakout candidate this year, just like having a ridiculous year, like before the year started, and he has done nothing.
Nothing. I don't even, because I think Bigsby has a technically starting position.
Whatever. I hope Bigsby gets fucking AIDS in his balls. I hate that guy.
Anywho, the last question before we sign off here is, what, if any, subjects do you guys like to do deep dives on?
Where is Etienne? I need to find this fuck.
I have a few just off the top of my head, but I'll let you guys go for it if you have any.
Running back 37. Fuck that guy.
Fuck.
In between Jerome Ford and Alexander Madison. Eat dicks, Etienne.
I like doing deep dives on conspiracy theories.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
I also frequently go down rabbit holes on the paranormal. And what else? What else do I rabbit hole? Oh, lore. Insert lore here. If I get involved with some type of lore, I need to know all of the lore.
I like that.
I had a week where I went through, and respectively to both these subjects, I went through videos on Elden Ring lore and Dark Souls lore.
Dark Souls goes deep.
Dark Souls is so deep, like, and no one knows what the actual story is.
I do.
Well, to be fair, I can't remember it now.
I mean, Elden Ring was written by fucking George R.
Martin.
So,
So,
and they probably didn't rush it like a last season of that stupid show, but whatever.
Well, it's because he was actually able to write it. They didn't try to just guess.
Yeah. So those are good. Those are good ones.
I can very much piggyback off the lore because I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it, but literally have my tower my Barad-dûr right there. I love Lord of the Rings. I could dive into all of that, not just the whole third age stuff, but get me going on like first age, second age, and who the strongest elf ever was, and all that shit.
Who's the strongest elf?
Fingolfin or Finarfin. I can't remember which one it was, but actually went against the strongest being in Middle Earth. Sauron is not the strongest bad guy. The actual strongest is a guy called Morgoth, who is a god, more or less. I can keep going, but I'll stop there.
I love the fact that you know that. That's fantastic.
Or am I getting lores mixed up here?
What's that?
Is Morgoth the dark elven god?
So Morgoth is just like an angel, more or less. So there's Eru Ilúvatar, which is God, in the Lord of the Rings lore, and he has his Maiar, and there's another level. But Morgoth is the strongest of more or less like his like underlings, more or less. And just he's the first Dark Lord. Sauron is just general or a sergeant of his.
I do think I got lores mixed up, because isn't Morgoth also the name of the Dark Elves in, like, from Thor?
You know, I think you're right. I think there is a Morgoth in Thor.
Yeah, I think that was the, like, lead Dark Elf in the Dark World.
I also have watched many YouTube videos on Destiny. We talked a little bit about it before. There is a guy on YouTube called My Name is Mike. I watched his full 10-hour-long video of start to finish of Destiny lore. I love Destiny lore. I absolutely love the game. I play it constantly. We talked a little bit about this, but absolutely love Destiny. Justin and I talk anime a lot. I mean, I could get into all the other knickknacks I have in here, but I mean, Attack on Titan, which is right there. Those guys right there. One of the greatest stories you'll ever hear.
It's up there.
God damn. So good. One of the best looking shows is from those up there, which is Demon Slayer. One of the best looking shows, because, it's such a beautiful show. Yeah, and really, I just love sports, too. I mean, we could talk football. I also love soccer or real or like true football, as Europeans would say. If we have
EuroLeague stuff, yeah.
Because I've been following soccer since I could walk, so I know soccer. I actually know soccer a lot better than I do football. Yeah, there's plenty others.
My deep dives are extensive. Usually they are random whims here and there, but I can definitely list a top few. I like to do deep dives on comedy, so I like to discover new comedians and just like to follow them and see if they're like they can become like a new favorite of mine.
If they actually are funny.
I wouldn't follow them if they weren't funny to me.
That's true.
Most comedians are not funny, but some of the ones that I like are usually funny. But like the ones I like the best are funny in conversation and not when they're doing their sets traditionally. But if they can like talk and make you laugh, so many guys. But I could probably list like 5 dudes that nobody knows about that are very funny to me. I do deep dives on music a lot of the time. I hate listening to hit music on the fucking radio. I want to discover new music all the goddamn time. I want to discover music that I like, and I want to hear from at least a new band every single year. I think this year on my Spotify Wrapped, it was all like video game soundtrack stuff. It was a Destiny...
Destiny's soundtrack is so good.
It was a Destiny soundtrack song that was my number one stream song.
Oh, good. The Destiny soundtrack is so good.
It's like the Kronos Quartet doing something, and it's pretty choice. It's like 8 minutes long though, so I mean, it's good for like a car ride to work or something. There's that. Anime, obviously, I did a deep dive in that. As soon as I turned 30, I decided to be like super nerdy, and I'd been like involved in that crap for a very long time. I just love that kind of shit because it's just something I've always been interested in. And then I got old enough to not give a shit what anybody called me. I was kind of ahead of the curve before that kind of stuff actually took like a mainstream
Is now
approach.
cool.
I mean, a lot of it is. It is now, but like you didn't used to see these kind of movies in the theater, at least before. Besides like a random Dragon Ball Z movie, but now like
Mostly
everybody has
Dragon
their
Ball, yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I'm not feeling like I'm a trendsetter or anything, but like I do feel like I was a little bit ahead of the curve on that kind of shit. But I do deep dives on that shit because I like to watch new series all the time. I am also pretty much almost current on One Piece, and that's a very fucking long goddamn show.
We talked
That's
about
impressive.
that. You know how I feel about One Piece.
I
I
know.
know one other person that has watched that much One Piece.
Yeah, it's a chore. Let's see. Anime. Beer. Love fucking beer.
That's the biggest thing you and I ever bonded over is beer.
Look at this one, Blake. You ever heard of this one? Obviously, Cali Creamin'. Peaches
and cream.
Peaches and cream Cali Creamin'.
Yeah. Well,
Is
the
it
stuff
like
you can start
golden ale,
doing
or
with
is
Cali
it-
Creamin' is fantastic.
Well, the
I got a
creamsicle
couple
one
of
is fucking awesome.
Is it like a golden ale or what is it?
It's a cream ale, so it tastes kind of
Yeah.
sweet,
Okay.
like vanilla-y.
The regular Cali Creamin' tastes like almost like a damn cream soda.
Yeah, but it's
That's dangerous.
it's not as fizzy and like soda-y, but it's like it's sweeter. It's a nice it's a soft beer to drink. It doesn't burn all the shit. But then they did a variant with like orange cream, so that became a creamsicle. Then peaches and cream because I think 112 needed a shout out and they needed I don't know,
Peaches
just
and
things to talk about. Peaches and cream. I like it because you know that I'm a fiend. See, I like music too.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go find these because these sound amazing, and I only
They're
have
great.
one of them in my fridge right now.
I mean,
Recommend
it's a solid beer.
It really is. Yeah, there's a lot of shit. I like to be well informed on a lot of things here and there. Those are like the main things I do deep dives on. I like to like learn something new every day if I can too, but that's kind of like a human thing. That's not really deep dive shit. Like I'm learning about a lot of stuff about like American history that like nobody ever taught anybody, and how dirty and fucking terrible people were, and just all sorts of awfulness. Like I just finished up a podcast talking about McCarthyism, and I was like, "Fuck that dude! I hope he dies. I hope he dies again." God, I hate that dude.
My latest one is Dune.
So, what is that? The book?
It's the first 3.
Holy shit! How many books are there?
6.
Woo!
But you don't read the last 3 because it was written by his son after the original author died.
Oh yeah, that just seems like hanging on. I wouldn't do that.
Well, because I don't know the whole thing about it, but the first 3 were Frank Herbert. That like the guy who wrote it. The movies that you see are based off of just the 2 movies is based off book 1. The next movie that is coming out is called Dune Messiah, which is book 2. Yeah. And I don't know if they'll do another movie. I feel like they might just stop at the trilogy, but we'll see.
Here's
So what
hoping.
kind of money it brings in?
We'll see.
Yeah.
I really, really enjoyed Dune 1 and 2. So. Movies were great. Made me actually read those books, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I should watch more movies that aren't
Anyway.
anime.
Boys, unless you have anything else to talk about, I'm going to cut us off here. It's getting a little late for all of us.
Understood.
But Blake, thanks for hopping in. I know you were
Good to
going
hear
to be
from
on
you.
audio, but we appreciate you hopping in. Anyone out there listening, you can find us Desert Dynasty Football. We are on Spotify, YouTube. Leave us comments, likes, subscribe, all the fun stuff over on all the medias. You can shoot us an email. I still have that up. DesertDynastyFootball@gmail.com if you guys want to send us any long forms or anything like that.
I'm going to email you this week. I'm going to think of
I will
something.
be looking for it. I check it weekly.
All right, I don't want you to waste your time, so I'm going to have to think of something to write.
Should
And
be a
I
short
check it at
story about,
like 6:30, so 30 minutes before we jump on.
Yeah, I'll just give you like a long-winded detail on how I've been like fucking suddenly been interested in Madonna's music and how I thought she could get it back in the 80s.
Oh, I will be looking for it.
Gotcha.
She could get it back in the 80s.
She did get it.
All right, y'all. Well, that will be it for us here. Have a good night. We'll see y'all next week to follow up on the finals of our Toilet Bowls and second round of championship going into championship week.
Absolutely.